My name is Carol Blumenstein, and this is my daughter, Alana.
Hi.
And we are
Hello.
co-founders of Kids Read to Kids. We serve kids with learning challenges in over 60 countries worldwide. Our goal is to empower and inspire all children to believe in
Amazing.
themselves and to pursue their dreams.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We should be interviewing you.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited and honored to meet you all. So our first question is, what lesson do you hope children will learn from your character's journey? And Kerri, for you as a writer, what lesson do you hope children will learn from the show as a whole?
Iyanu's journey is gonna hit a lot of people just because it's a human journey of, you know, not necessarily you know who you are, but you're figuring out who you are and your place in the world and what your personal superpowers are, you know? And I think that as a kid, when you're a kid and learning how to be a human and growing into young adulthood and adulthood, that's essentially the journey that you're on, is trying to figure out who I am, what's my place in the world, where do I fit? And what are my strengths? What am I good at? What are my powers? And sometimes even when something is right in front of you and you're being called to do something, you're reluctant about it. You're reluctant about stepping into your power and really becoming the self that you're meant to be. And that's the journey that Iyanu goes on. And her friends go on similar journeys too, where they learn who they are. They grow into themselves and become their full selves as they take on this really enormous task ahead of them.
I would say the relationship that you have with your daughter and what you're doing is actually what Iyanu is about, because you said your nonprofit also helps teach children to believe in themselves. That is what Iyanu's life really encompassed, and the fact that we want people to see this, especially young kids, and see that you are authentic, you have self-worth, become self-aware of who you are, the powers that you have within you. I think the more I think about Iyanu, even after the whole when we recorded and everything, and I came to DC and I saw people at BlurredCon, the more I think about Iyanu, the more I see that Iyanu represents all of us, not just children, but even as adults, because the question of life that has to do with purpose. What am I here to do? The fact that she's always told that this is why you are here, this is who you are, and you have everything within you to be able to do the thing that you were created for. It's kind of like who we all are and the question that we all have about life, about why we're here, about who we're connected to, and the fact that the people we come in contact with is not by coincidence. There's a reason why you are this person who has this personality, and the culture behind it, the history behind it, the way we were represented authentically as real humans with our flaws and all, with our good sides, our bad sides. Everything together is what makes Iyanu so exciting to me, and what makes me so happy that I'm a part of our own story being told by us, but for the world to see, because we're all the same. Our search for the truth, our search for purpose, our search for who we are and why we are is Iyanu. So, yeah.
And I think one of my most favorite things about Iyanu is that when you think about us as human beings, we're so focused on where we want to end up. But I think one of the beauty and the beautiful things about Iyanu is that it helps you learn to appreciate the journey. And we see Iyanu go on that journey. And as human beings, it helps us realize that the journey is just as important. Like, we learn all these things along the way. The destination is nice, but the journey that it takes you to get there, what you learn along the way, the people that you meet, the interactions that you have, are just as important. So yes, you want to be this person, but you have to realize that the process that it's going to take is just as important. And it's okay to sit into that and to enjoy it as well, the good, the bad, the ugly, and take it as it comes. I think that's really special about Iyanu.
I think I want kids to watch it and think to themselves that there's nothing that they can't do. And I think, for it, like they said, for a lot of human beings, it's one thing to know this is why you're here, right? But then to have that confidence and really tap in and activate everything that you have within you to make that purpose come alive, to struggling with self-doubt, a lot of people go through that. So it's not just something for kids, it's for everyone. And to just realize that you have everything that you need to be who you are to be within you. You just need to activate it and become that person, and just like Adesua said, it's about that journey, the journey to being, and not just caring about the destination alone, but the process to becoming that thing, the journey, enjoying the journey. So I do want kids to watch this and realize that there's nothing that they put their minds to that they can achieve. You're capable of so much, and I hope that through Iyanu's story they're able to realize that and so much more.
Oh, that was so beautiful. You're all incredible role
Amazing
models. I know kids are going to want to love to hear this. What process did you use to find your character's unique voice? Or maybe there's a silly story, maybe not.
This one's so easy, right? Because Olori is Iyanu's guardian and mentor and teacher. I just channeled an African mother. You watch it and you listen to the language and you listen to the dialogue and you listen to the way she speaks with Iyanu and teaches her. It just sounds like my mom. And so that's who I channeled. And obviously I have 2 kids as well. I have 2 boys, and raising boys is an extreme sport, right? Just channeling that as well, and finding the balance between being a disciplinarian and being loving and being a teacher and being someone that's trying to help them make their way in life and teaching them all the essentials that they're going to need to exist as human beings, and teaching them empathy and love and kindness and structure and all these things. I just channeled my mom, and somewhere in there I channeled myself as well. So yeah.
I play Mama Sewa, and she's kind of like a balance to what Olori was teaching Iyanu. So Mama Sewa's style of teaching will be more of the emotional, the spiritual, the psychological aspect of it, just so she can find what's within, and use that. So she's a perfect blend of the discipline, the skills and all of that, but with her mental state, her inner person, which is what my mother and my sisters represent for me, till date, because I still have, at my age, I still have my sister calling me and telling me, you didn't send this thing on time, you're late. And I have another one telling me, don't worry, I understand, you're busy. So with Mama Sewa, she had to teach her, how you teach your child and say, I will not tell you what the answer is. I will let you figure it out, but I will tell you how it started. That kind of method, which every African mother, in fact, every mother would use. So there are times for discipline, but there are times where you sit with your child and say, we need to talk about this. Think about your life. Think about your insights. Think about your personality and make the right choices and things like that.
It looks like they are ending us. We would talk to you forever if we could. You're magnificent. I can't wait for everyone to see it.